Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to look at all of Jordan Love's incompletions from this game against the Bears. I think it's 12 of them, 12 plays we're going to look at. I was going to look at every single one of his dropbacks. We did that in the preseason. That's just a bit too much to cover in one video. I could attempt to do it, but I would be tired by the end, and you guys don't want to sit through an hour plus of me doing that. So we're going to look at some of the incompletions because while I thought he had a good day, I thought there were some things he could improve on, and I thought kind of teasing out some of the incompletions, looking at it in the way that we do with the look at the concept, decision making, what he's trying to do, where he goes, all of that, kind of give us an insight into maybe how we felt overall about his day, or how I felt overall about his day. As we do, we got a little ticker up top, down, distance, gain. The concept is kind of more for myself as a little reminder, and then personnel. So we're going to 12 personnel. We're going to watch the play. We're going to walk through it. It's going to be play action bootleg, which I don't love in this area. I'll talk about that in a minute. Talked about that before, I think, with this very play. But it's play we're going to see 1,000 times from the offense this year. Certainly something we've seen 1,000 times in the LaFleur era. So 12 personnel. It's one running back, two tight ends, with DeGuara as one of the tight ends is the up, back, and I. Jordan Love's going to roll out. Look for that second crosser on Dontayvion Wicks. Ball falls incomplete. What are we looking at? So again, you get this wide zone look, pitch out there. That would be the run, and then he's going to boot. So you're going to have DeGuara's lead. So these two guys are going to end up over here. You've got the Sale kind of clear out right over here. You got Wicks on the crosser. You got a Musgrave crossing underneath. Now, again, I don't love this in this area just because there's a concept that thrives on space. I think this is borderline here at the 12, 13-yard line. You can get some space here. It's just I don't really love it. You're running guys off with this. This is usually not a real option. It's rarely thrown, which means your reads, you're going 1 to 2 on this. You can build in some different receivers here. The Packers did not do that on this. There's a bunch of different ways to run this, so it's not like it's a bad thing. But you're looking to hit that crosser. If not, you're looking to hit the flat, create space with the Sale. So here we go. We got that pitch. He's going to roll out. Now, right here, we can see, all right, that sucker's out because he's bracketed. You've got the flat here to Musgrave, which is usually if the crosser is not there, that's when you're looking at. There's an angle to make that throw, but that's high risk for minimal reward. So you're not really looking there, which means you're looking the crosser. So you got the crosser to Wicks. You've got the trailer here, and you've got this linebacker in the middle. That's a pretty good looking matchup. Now you got this guy bearing down on you, but that's where Love's going. He's surveying. He's looking now. Right now, again, out. This guy's kind of looking down. He's pinching a little bit. You got him on the back. You got Wicks running outside. You got the hand up. So Love's got to get a little creative with this throw. Try to fit this over. Fit it past, but he's got his guy and just shoots it wide. So this is one. I mean, there's a handful of these. I'm going to have a tough time with these. It's tough to tell because Wicks, I think, gets his feet tied up. He ends up falling down. Throw looks bad. Throw looks wide. I think the throw is not bad. And again, the decision's good. As he's rolling out and as he's kind of looking, he's looking up there first. And then he looks here. You got a linebacker facing, not running full speed. You've got the trailer. This is exactly where he's going. He's dragging out space there. So Love knows, okay, I'm going here. He throws that kind of a nice little flip of the wrist there. I think that's a pretty good throw. So I think accuracy on that one's pretty good. It looks worse because Wicks gets, I think his feet just get tied up. I don't know, with him or the guy behind him. Falls down, falls incomplete. Looks bad. Looks like he throws it wide. It might be a little wide. It's just kind of hard to tell on that. So I don't hate that one. I think the decision making is fine. Again, the throw is kind of hard to kind of tell what's going on there, but it looks worse just because of the fall. This one we've got 2nd and 8, 12 personnel down in this area here. It's going to be this little running back middle screen to Aaron Jones. It looks weird because it is weird. I mean, running back screens, you don't have a whole lot of options. Sometimes you can build in another screen to the other side or vertical routes or something. For the most part, if you call up a running back screen, unless everything else looks perfect pre-snap, you're going with the running back screen. So you are going to have, they're kind of blocking down. I think Runyon's going to be the guy here that kind of muddies this up a little bit. He's going to release to the middle, turn around, Love sees him, throws it, and it just falls to the ground. So we can see this better from the other angle. Watch Runyon here. So Jones is going to take this up, try to settle into this little pocket. I mean, it's done here. If we want to talk about decision making, this is one, and you don't want to kill him because of the throw. But one of the things that I had, one of the issues I had with the preseason was there were times, and you didn't know what the coaching was in the preseason. They just tell him try to make a throw. It doesn't matter. Try to make a throw. This one here, is one where I think you should just dirt this. Runyon here is all just kind of, he's boxed up. There's no space there. 94 is looking in. Now, if Runyon's pushed up a little bit, or if it's a little more inside and you got room, you can fit that on that inside shoulder of Jones. You can throw that away from him. Okay, you're fine there. But this is all muddled, man. There's nowhere to fit this ball. At this point, I think Love just needs to dirt it. He tries to fit it in. Watch the throw. I think he gets it in there. It's a lot of distraction. I think it hits him in the hands, but then he's immediately getting knocked over there. The ball drops. Messy, messy throw. I'm not gonna put the play execution itself on Love because again, the running back screen, that's basically the only option at that point. But I would like to see him maybe dirt that. So we'll tick against for decision making, but just minorly. All right, 1st and 10, 21 personnel. They're going to run kind of a version of strike, drift, PA, bang, dig, whatever you want to call it, kind of a core concept of the Packers offense where you've got a vertical route and then a dig route behind it. It just goes behind, just falls behind here. So what you want to do, you get the play action here. You're targeting this guy, try to draw him up, and you just run this dig route behind it, replace the space, hit him out of the break. He looks like he's trying to hit there. I don't know if this is a misfire or, as we'll see, this defender is driving on it. Love can see that. The receiver cannot because he's come out of the break. Love throws it behind. So again, this is either like there's a couple options here that you can look at it if you want to be charitable or harsh, but either way, it doesn't come out all that good. If this is a misfire, this is inaccurate. It's inaccurate. He throws it. There's a guy in his face. We'll look at it from the other angle. He just misses the throw. It's a misfire. It's inaccurate. Okay, that happens. If he's trying to throw behind him to lead him away from there, you can make a case. Okay, that's good. You're trying to protect your guy. You see him, but as a quarterback, the receiver can't see that guy. So if you're saying I'm throwing a back hip, if he's firing down, if he's out of the break, now I guess the other reading of this would be if that is something in the playbook, if that's an option here, that if he's firing down, if he's straight up and he's firing down, quarterback throws back hip, then maybe that's something the receiver should see. Again, I think it's just a misfire because that ball needs to be out here. It's behind him. The decision's fine. There's not a lot of decision making to go on with this. That is about the only route you're throwing to on this particular concept. So I think decision making is fine. In my estimation, throws just off. So we'll see him here at the motion. He sets. You've got a guy in his face. That probably alters it a little bit. He's got to get that ball out quick, but you can see right here. Ball needs to be here so he can run to it. Instead, it's behind him. To me, that just looks like a bad throw. Good read. Good decision. Again, not a lot of decision making on that one. Just a bad throw. This one, we got 3rd and 2, 11 personnel. We are on the 4th play here. We're moving along pretty well. He's going to fire right there. So you've got on this side, something the Packers did a lot in this game, kind of the short motion in. And kind of going to run this this dagger look here out of a switch release, which I really, really like. And then on this side over here, they're running kind of a little inside out, like almost smash, not quite smash because that's more of a corner. Because it's kind of like pivot route here, and you're running this dig over the top. So get this high low on the boundary, essentially what you're trying to do, and you're looking at the boundary corner. If he falls underneath here, throw the out route. If he falls underneath, you throw underneath. That's like simple ball control concept from the Packers here. Something you see in all areas of the field. They're going to throw that here. And you can see, I think Love is looking middle first. I think he wants to throw this dagger look. Bears pass that off well. I think he doesn't like what the spacing would be, so he quickly moves off of that and then throws over here. It's the right read. This guy's down here. He stays with that. You don't want to throw that. So you want to throw here. This is one that, to me, that this is a missed throw. We're going to see another one kind of like this a little later as well. This could be caught. If he's kind of, he comes back to it, he attacks it. I think he tries to body catch it a little bit. It falls incomplete. So that's one thing. But if you see it from the other angle here, and we're going to look at it, this is a ball that is just, I think, a little too far to the inside. If you throw this to the outside, ball's a little easier to catch. I mean, put the caveat on all of this. It's way easier for me to say that sitting here than anything else. But since we're looking at the plays, we're going to talk about it. You can see he's got to come back to the ball. If this ball's put out here to the boundary where he has space, I think this is an easy completion. And he gets to the sideline. Or at least it's in the receiver's hands. I can't speak to whether the receiver catches it or not. I'm going to say he does because I believe in hope and optimism. So we will say if this ball's out here, it's caught and that's a first down. Instead, it's inside. So that just to me, and I don't think, let's rewind this. I don't think there's a lot of pressure bearing down on him. He's got a pocket. Bakhtiari's getting kind of walked up into him a little bit, but he's got a clean throwing lane. Feet are clean. I think that's just a misfire. So again, I don't mind the read. He moves off that dagger quickly from the looks of it. If we look at his feet, he's looking middle. I think he just doesn't like where the drop is on that dagger where that safety is. So he just quickly moves over. Good footwork, good read, good decision making. I think he throws to the right guy. It's just incomplete. So just a misfire there on that one. This one here, we've got another one that's kind of strike drift concept here. I've got the personnel as 620, which is going to be and they're running something else on the other side here, which it's basically 20 personnel, and it's incomplete, check down. It's 20 personnel, so that'd be 2 running backs, 0 tight ends, kind of that pony package look, but you've got an extra lineman there. That's something I did quite a bit, with Mercedes Lewis out the door, kind of something we thought they might do would be an extra lineman. We saw that a few times. And I was thinking it was going to be Josh Diamond. It was Rasheed Walker when they did that. So 620 personnel, kind of a funky personnel number we don't see a whole lot. But he's looking at the read. Again, he's looking at hitting this thing here off the play action. But as you can see, the Bears got that covered up pretty well. We'll watch how they're doing that. So that linebacker here, I think that's Tremaine Edmonds. I mean, there he is. He just turns around. He's right in his face. Got that robot call. He sees it's not play action. He turns around, gets in his face. There's nowhere to throw that. Jordan Love sees that, so he moves off of it. He then goes deep to shallow on this side. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of decision making on this particular concept. You're looking to hit the dig, but you do have options, and they've got themselves set up well. If that's covered up, right there, gone. I'm looking deep now. I think you can make a case that he could throw. I think this is going to be a deep out here. That he could throw that off his back foot. And that's like about a split second before this, because just looking at this at the still image, we can say he can throw that. He can fit that in there. You got the safety back here. You've got this dude kind of up here a little bit. You've got a place to feather that in. And I don't know that I'm going to argue with you, but if you look at the boundary here, and I think what he's reading the body there and the way it looks like he's bailing, because he's not committing at this point. You can see he's backing up. So if Love lets us go, that has to be a perfect pass underneath, because you don't want that guy to get it, and that guy's looking to fall underneath it. So I think he makes the right choice to just check this down, even if you can say, well, he did have space to fit it in. Again, I'm not going to argue with you, say he could have made it, but I think he's reading that bailing defender and just saying, okay, I'm taking the easy check down here. It's 1st and 10. Let's pick up a few yards here, get us in a favorable second down. I think it's a pretty good throw to Dylan, because Dylan kind of flares out that way. So he puts it on the hands there where Dylan could catch it and get upfield, get a couple more yards, and Dylan just drops it. So we'll see it from the other angle. So this, to me, that seems like the progression there was good. Reads were good. You can make an argument on that deep throw, but I think it's fine. I think the decision's fine here. Dylan drops it, and he puts it in a good position for him. We'll see one later where the flat throw to the flat was not great. This one seems fine. This one stinks. I hate this one, just because what could have been so beautiful. I've got this as Yankee or Portland or whatever. 1st and 10. They're taking a shot. They got 13 personnel. So you got this heavy look, a really fun backfield they've got. And they ran this on another play as well. That was a run play. So you're kind of setting them up there. You got this heavy box from the Bears because you're showing this heavy personnel. You got Jordan Love. You got Dylan behind him. You've got a tight end right next to him. You've got a tight end over here. So you got this weird offset look. In an earlier play, they ran this kind of then counter look where you then block and you're going heavy. So you got this real, like a bunch of kind of beef up front. You're running them behind them. Well, now they're doing this play action shot, and you got a single high safety. He's aligned to this side, kind of shading this side. This big post, you got this big, I think it's going to come from this big over route, and we're going to see how that unfolds. And it kind of, you get all these guys coming here because if they saw this, right, you can see how the linebackers kind of react. You get the blockers coming over like that. We'll see the linebackers here. See how they've seen this already. They got beat with this earlier. They're coming to hit all these guys that are here, but they just sit back in pass protection. So now you've got this route here that stays vertical long enough to hold that guy in space. You got this kind of push to the outside post here. You got a ton of room. Now, you have to worry about this guy bailing underneath. So maybe that's what drives the decision here. Drives the throw. Love puts us up. This is one, I mean, you can see right here as Love is throwing it, and I'm right before he throws, right there, as he's lining up. Touré's not out of his break. Again, very easy for me to say here. I don't exactly know what the calls were with the route or anything. He takes this skinny, which puts his guy on his back. That's where Love throws it. If the ball is put pylon, maybe not that far, and we can't see the whole field, where he can run underneath it, this guy, and maybe he's worried about that guy bailing, just based on this crosser coming across here, but he holds for a little bit longer. And so there's a possibility you can fall underneath that. But if you throw this a little bit across the field as opposed to up the field, I think that gives you and gives your receiver a better opportunity to catch this. He takes it skinny. He's the safeties now. You've run with the safety on your back as opposed to the ball over here. Say if the ball's here and he's kind of running underneath it that way. He puts the ball up here, puts the safety on his back, and it just does not end up going well. Ends up being an overthrow. Little misjudged maybe by Toure there, but this is one that I think I'll look at from the other angle. The ball's put further to the pylon where the receiver can run across the field as opposed to up the field. This is one that to me, it just feels like the placement could have been better on that one. And again, maybe that's just me because you do have 9 there. That you can't put too much air underneath it, lead them across, or else you got there. Either way, I think it's a misfire. It's a little long either way. So that one stinks because they had that set up well. You had that fun look. You got the heavy look. You got that heavy box, single high safety on Touré's back. That seems like that was set up perfectly to do that. And it just was not there. It's when 1st and 10, 11 personnel. Got kind of lion, double lion, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of yeah. Well, not quite, I guess. But you got the 2 follow concepts, and then it's a check down to Aaron Jones. So they're going to be running kind of dual follow things. So you've got this kind of dual follow here, dual there. So kind of a quick read, and then you got Jones on the flare out and the flat there. So he's looking initially here, which again, they're running, and he's there. This guy's not declared. So the way you typically go to look at this, you got this slant here. You're reading this guy, so you're reading this kind of inside out. If he runs to the inside with the slant, you throw behind because you've created space for him. If he stays, that means he's staying back behind there, and then you can throw that lead. Linebacker in the middle, so that's how you typically read that. Linebacker in the middle is kind of muddy in the waters a little bit. He's up there, so you don't really want to throw that. But this guy's not really declaring, so you don't really want to throw behind him either. So Love moves off of that, comes back. You know, Musgrave on this little curl. You've got Brackett on the outside. Doesn't like that. Comes back down to Jones. Again, I think the reads are fine. I think the progression is good. He goes through all of this quickly. He goes through it's quick hitters, man. He goes through the 3-step, that little lion on the right side there. Bang, bang, bang. Ball's ready to be out. I don't like it. He's looking to drive on it. Slot guy hasn't declared. I'm moving on. Musgrave's on his back. I'm looking over there. Bracketed. All right, I'm just checking down. Just lofts it and the ball hits the dirt. So I think the reads are really good on that. And he goes through the progression quickly and makes the right decision. Just misses the throw. That's just a misfire there. 2nd and 10, 11 personnel. We're on some kind of smash-ish look. I don't even know what to make of this one, man. I mean, I kind of do. You've got this, again, kind of this, I say smash, but it's a little deeper than it normally is. So you got this little kind of shorter route out of the backfield and this deep, deep corner from Musgrave. You got the split safety look with the Bears kind of, fanning out there. So you got a good angle on this. So he's going to drop back. He's looking back. Now you've got, I said you've got the safety there, right? Safety drops wide. You've got the safety dropping wide. They're kind of pinching up there. Linebackers to the inside. You've got safety to that side. You get a big old pocket of space right there. And so Jordan Love's just going to throw that. You got that corner out to Musgrave. I've got exactly what I want. I got my matchup. They're caught over. It looks like a bit of a busted coverage there. I'm tossing this sucker. I'm going up over the top. and it looks like a bad throw. Like, this is one on the broadcast, like, "Oh, I can't believe you missed him." And okay, maybe he did. I do not know because it's tough to tell because he's falling. You can see he's like looking. See, Musgrave's kind of looking. Then he just balls in the air. And it's like he just forgets how his feet works, kind of. And now maybe this is thrown a little further than he wants. Maybe he thought it was thrown inside and he was trying to adjust to it and he's trying to go back outside. This is one, I mean, that looks maybe like it's a shade inside the shoulder there. And he doesn't quite know how to react, but it lands at a pretty good spot. If he makes that, go back to the first angle because we can see a little better there. If he takes this a little skinnier, so as the ball's in the air, he's still kind of braking and then he tries to adjust. If he just like gradually makes this slightly skinnier, it looks like he's got this. And he's trying to lead him up the field because if you've got like this single high look, you don't want to limit if you run a corner, kind of limit your yak a little bit because you're throwing out there and you're leading him towards the boundaries. If you throw it up here a little bit, you got no one who can catch you because he's coming over the top. You've got room up there. Again, I don't know if this is a slight misfire and that he puts it over the inside shoulder and Musgrave gets a little tied up. To me, this looks like Musgrave just kind of forgets how his body works once the ball is in the air. And that's harsh. I'm joking. That's harsh, but it does look like he gets a little tied up, is a little confused, maybe misreads the ball in the air, tries to adjust his feet, and then falls. So it looks bad. Might be a little overthrown, maybe a little inside. I don't know. But to me, I've kind of put that more on the receiver than the quarterback. First and 10, 11 personnel. Another instance line. This one's weird, dude. And this is like a lion / double dragon thing. This one falls incomplete. So you've got on this side a double dragon, and this side is lion, which is basically just double dragon but without the flat. This is, I think it's Jaden Reed in the slot. So you're selling that because again, you want the lead to clear out for behind it if you're not going to get the ball. So you want to push up hard, go there because you're trying to get that man to clear. Get him to move inside because if he doesn't move in, or if he does move inside, you've got an easy completion behind him. Reed kind of looks like he doesn't. He thinks this is something else. He's kind of like this half jog. He's not really selling anything. He doesn't put anything there. And maybe this is something from love. He had that last one. I didn't love it. I moved off of it. I went to the flat. It didn't work out well. This one I want to throw behind it. I like my matchup. I got off coverage here. I feel like even if this guy's just flat-footed, even if he's not declaring to the inside, I feel like I can fit this behind. And again, I don't know that I hate the decision. I think the decision's fine. But there's just nothing there. That guy does not move. Reed does nothing to that. It's just a weird, funky looking thing. Throws a little out in front. And we'll see it here. Ants, fires, throws out in front. Maybe he expects it to be a little skinnier or something. But also it's confused by the kind of the guy just kind of sitting there a little bit as well. So I think there's a little confusion. So I will go on this one with I think you can make an argument that maybe he can work back over to the flat, but I also hesitate to say that a quarterback should ever go to fifth read. Like that's something he should do. I think the read here is mostly fine. There's some confusion to me in terms of what Reed is doing in the slot there. Maybe he does trust his arm a bit too much. And with his 3-step, it's like a mirrored 3-step. You do have the flat route on the left side. You're looking at coverage before the snap and you're either throwing one side or you're throwing no side in a lot of this. So he picks this side. I like my matchup there. Gets muddy in the middle. He still fires. It's just I think the throw is a little off, but I also think there's the Reed thing kind of muddies the water a little bit. This is when I talked about elsewhere, so I don't want to take a whole lot of time here. Second 12 run of the spin concept to this side. It's going to be incomplete, almost an interception by 9 here. And this is one, again, I don't want to talk about this too much because I did talk about this yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever it was. So what you're doing is something we've seen from the Packers a lot in the love era, quote unquote love era, basically since the Eagles game. You're trying to hold down someone with the hitch and you wrap this dig around and you just fire at the top of your drop. Now we'll see the ball is out. There we go. Throwing this sucker, and you can see right here, Dobbs is breaking. You've got the safety bearing down. The throw should be, we'll say about here. The throw is out here instead. So Dobbs gets a hand on it. If he doesn't, that ball likely goes right into the waiting arms of the safety. So to me, on initial look, that looks like an overthrow. Looks like he just misses him. Misses him wide. The other thing I want to throw out here is the way they've run this in the past with other receivers. You run and it's a smooth break over the top. When you say you're wrapping that sucker around, you're really wrapping that sucker around. This one here, Dobbs, we've seen him do on this route before. He kind of gets a little like stutter and then try to create some space there. He doesn't need to create space there, but he does that. So this is either, I don't know if Dobbs is supposed to do that, or if this is a weird timing thing where it's known that he does that and that's how he runs his route, and so Love needs to take like an extra split second. If this is either a know your receiver's tendencies, or the receiver run this route slightly different, or just a straight misfire. I don't know. I'm throwing all those things on the table because that is a possibility, but that is just a way that Dobbs runs this route that other guys on the team do not, that we've not seen him. So he's got that little like jab, 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 and then he move inside. Just enough for the timing might be off. Again, he could be a little bit further out of his break potentially if he runs this a little smoother, and then B2 the ball as it stands. Ball's outstretched his hands, and Dobbs does a good job to get a hand on it because we're watching 9 right there is in a really good position to pick this off. This is one where if this is an interception, it's like, why did he throw that ball? Well, we know why he threw the ball. He's wrapping it around. So he's throwing that sucker. He's breaking on it. If Dobbs, and we'll see he gets, it's hard to get it right there. He gets his hand on it. If he doesn't get a hand on it, 9's got very big eyes for that ball. He just tips it, flips it right over his head. Incomplete. Again, I don't know if that's a misfire, some mistiming. Not exactly sure what it is on that one, but that one feels a little weird. We got 2 left, 3rd and 8, 11 personnel. Got this delayed drive look. And then we've got Love just kind of trying to go deep, or go to this out route, this little hinge on the outside, or whatever you want to call it. So you've got on this side, again, this kind of fun little switch release off motion. I've got this as delayed drive or whatever you want to call it. That's what we got there. And then on this side, you're running pull, I think is what I've seen it called. So a vertical route, kind of an in-breaking vertical route, and this kind of like out-breaking hinge, whatever on the outside there. And that's where he's looking to throw this. So we're going to see him. He looks this side first and doesn't like it. He's running inside of there. He's looking to break underneath. So you've got this. There's a whole lot of muddiness there. You've got guys underneath. You get guys looking to fall under to dig. He does not like that concept. So he flips over. You can see his feet move. He sets the throw. Does not like here. Now you've got this guy here. He's flat. Maybe you do there, but you got the safety to contend with. So he doesn't want to throw the vertical route. On the outside, you've got this guy looking to take this vertical because Jaden Reed did a really good job of selling this vertical. So I'm just going to throw the out route. Good decision. I like the decision making. That's a bit of a theme here, in case you haven't noticed. I like the decision making. Just like the other read completion or incompletion we looked at on the sideline, it's just a little too far inside. We'll see him. We'll see his feet again. We're going to see how he looks. Bang, bang. He's looking over there. He's ready to throw. Again, bracketed weirdness. You got that guy falling underneath. This guy is muddy in the waters for that dig coming behind him. I don't like it. I'm going to move on. He sets, moves his feet. I like that. But that falling defender, the rush is coming in, moves his feet, resets, kind of feathers that ball out there. And again, it's an outbreaking route. If this ball is over here, Jaden Reed's able to go get it, keep this guy on his back hip. You've got a completion. As it is, it's inside. You've now made a tough throw or tough catch for your rookie wide receiver, who tries to go up between 2 guys and come down with it and just can't do it. So that to me is another misfire. And maybe, there's a guy at his feet. There's a guy, and we'll kind of look at it again, not making excuses, just kind of walk through everything. Excuse me. There he is, guy at his feet, and you've got some push. And so he doesn't get a chance to fully step into it, but he's got the arm to get it out there, just not quite to the boundary. So again, that to me feels a bit like a misfire. This is our last play. We've got, once again, kind of a lion look, this double slant. He's moving around, goes secondary read, throws to Reed, goes up. This is the one that live I thought Reed tore his ACL. He immediately went down reaching for his knee. I think it was just cramps. I've never seen someone react to cramps that way, but that's the way this goes. So you've got this, again, kind of this double slants look on both sides. He does not like it. So kind of moves off. We'll kind of go through some of that. He's set to throw. I think he's looking, again, that one is kind of tied up. He doesn't like that. He's looking for the follow, but that guy's driving on it hard. So he moves off. Don't hate it. Move back over at this point. So when I talked about like the mirrored stuff, so you've got, and we'll run it back here. You've got the same concept to each side. So you've got bang, bang, roughly something like that. And you're throwing it, you're looking at that pre-snap read. It's mirrored to run the same thing. You look at that based on what matchup do I like? What side of this concept do I like better? And usually, especially for this quick game stuff, this is 2nd and 16. You're looking three-step drop, hit that back foot, get it out. You're not working across the other side of the field for this. You're picking one side of the field and you're saying that's the one I want. If it's not there, I got to make something else happen. He picks this one, and again, I don't hate the decision because you got the double slants here. You got this guy shading the inside. So you say, okay, I think this guy, this defender, is going to run to the inside. I also have this defender on the outside. So if this defender vacates, as I believe that he will, I am the quarterback now speaking as I believe that he will, and I'll have this follow slant here, and this guy will likely fire down on it, but you can create some separation. He's back a little bit. This is the side because this other side, a little muddier. You've got the inline tight end running it. You've got these two linebackers here. You've got these guys in the line. You've got this over here, and you've got the safety kind of pinching up a little bit. So it's a little messier over there. And draw that line down the middle. He goes there, which means you likely don't have a chance to go to the other side because once you hit that 3-step drop, both of them are kind of played out. I don't like it. I'm moving. Muddy, not throwing that. Jaden Reed from this side throws his hand up. Jordan Love trying to make something happen. And again, if you want to be picky about this, you can say misfire because this should be an ideal world. He's down. He's back. He's trying to break a little bit. If you want to put this in an ideal world, you say, put this sucker out there so my guy can run underneath it. I'm not going to nitpick a guy that's throwing, 50 yards or whatever he's going to end up throwing. By the time you factor in angles and all this stuff, he's on the hash. He's thrown over here. You've got a guy bearing down on him. He's, foot at the 9, a little past the 9. So you can say, okay, throw that up over here. The guy bearing down. I guess he kind of does. And then Jaden Reed just kind of gets turned around a little bit. I mean, that could be up a little bit further if you want to say this could be a perfect throw. But again, he's throwing from the 9 to the opposite 37, 38. That's a long throw with a guy bearing down on you. So again, you could be picky on that one and say you can put that a little bit further. But I think, he throws it up. He gives this guy a chance. Does not come down with that. Again, this is the one I thought Reed got injured on. Thankfully, it looks like he did not. So he's looking. You can see him there. Bang, bang, throw. I don't like that. That guy's bearing down. Make something happen. He's looking. He's navigating the pocket. I like the pocket navigation. He rears up, throws that sucker. Reed had stopped, tries to go up, make a play. I don't hate it. The throw could be further up, but I think he got it got it as far as he needed to get it for his guy to make a play. It's a tough throw to make. Maybe you could see that a little sooner, but Reed's first year on the team. You don't necessarily, it's the first game, so you don't necessarily have a feel for where he's going to be. I don't hate the decision to move off of. I don't hate the decision, the pre-snap decision for where to throw it, or moving off of that throw, or even where he ended up throwing it. It could have been a little further, and Reed could have made that catch. I mean, there's a couple things that could have gone. I'm not really going to be harsh on that one. So that's all I've got on this. I will say, all right, we just went through 12 plays. For the most part, you had a couple that were clear misfires. I think the 2 outbreakers on either side of the field to Reed, those were inside. Those need to be outside. That first one we looked at, the play action bootleg, I think that was probably not a bad throw. That was Wicks fell down. You had the weird one to Musgrave, where Musgrave looked like he maybe didn't get a good read on in the air or something and kind of fell down. You had a couple weird decision stuff with the running back screen to Jones that maybe he should just dirt. You had the one follow slant that Reed didn't really do a whole lot in the slot, and he tried to fit it in there. That looked like a bit of a misfire. So, I mean, overall, I think, and maybe looking at completions is a different story, that the completions maybe look a little worse than the incompletions. Overall, I mean, there's certainly stuff to clean up here. I think, the accuracy is an issue in college. It's an issue from what we've seen so far as just the consistency. But again, I think he's making more or less the right reads on the vast majority of this stuff. I think the decision making is good. Accuracy, I was going to say accuracy can be cleaned up. I don't know how much that can be cleaned up, but I think that is something, just a little more consistency there would be nice. But overall, I thought he navigated well, navigated the concepts well, knew where to go with the ball when stuff started breaking down. For the most part, made the right reads, just was off on some of them, and then a little bit of weirdness on some of them. I wouldn't mind seeing him throw the ball away. I think that's probably the last thing I'll say. That running back screen, dirt that. I don't know if there's any other opportunities to maybe throw the ball away, but we saw in the preseason a lot of times he's more apt to kind of try to make a play happen than he is to throw the ball away. I think he needs to know kind of when to cut bait, which is something he'll learn with experience. But overall, I'm encouraged a bit by looking at these incomplete passes. Some stuff to clean up, but honestly, not nearly as bad or as I kind of anticipated going in. So thought this was an interesting look. Maybe looking at his incomplete passes. Maybe if I feel froggy the next couple of days, I'll look at complete passes. Although maybe not. But this I thought was a fun little experiment to kind of run down. Hope you all enjoyed this at least a little bit, and I will talk to you later.